Hello. Would you like to learn something fun today? I thought maybe you'd like to be able to learn something that would be great to do at a wedding or a birthday party. Just a fun little thing that you could do if there are children about, or just for a whim to learn how to do. And that is balloon twisting. Now, I'm a magician, and kids get really excited when they see that magic is about to be done. But I have to tell you, when the balloons come out, that's all they want to look at and to request and to ask for. So I thought maybe if you knew how to make a few balloons, that would help as well. Would you like to get started? Now, it really matters which balloons you use. The brand that I highly recommend, no, I'm not being paid by them, it just is the fact, is called Qualitex. I have found if I get store-bought balloons from a big box store, the quality's not really very good. If you're going to try this, I highly recommend just order it on Amazon. It's not very expensive for a bag of 100 balloons. Now, the size that you're looking for these balloons is 260. That's a 260. Those are the long, skinny balloons that you've seen so many different people use to make balloon animals. Now, I want to go over a couple of things first, and that is how to make the balloon. Now, obviously, just like when you were a child, you can take the balloon and you can blow it up. But look at these balloons. They are very, very long, and it is very, very hard to fill them up. Now, you can do it, but it's not really very fun. So what I recommend is that you get a pump. Now, this is another one where it makes a huge difference which brand you get. This one is, again, a Qualitex balloon pump, and I'm serious, it costs maybe $5, maybe $7. It's not very expensive, and it works fantastically. When I first started doing this, I got the wrong kind, and I was amazed at how hard it was to inflate the balloons. Now, I do want to show you one trick, and that is if you're not going to have your handy balloon pump with you, you can do something else. And that is simply to take one of the balloons, let me get one here, and you see how small it is. It's relatively small and it's relatively tight. If you take your balloon pump and pump it, and then just let it out. Now, it's still going to be a challenge to inflate that balloon, but can you see how much longer it is now? It's been stretched out from being blown up, and you'll find that it's much easier. Of course, now I say that and I can't do it, but I swear to you, it is easier to do that. Honestly, I don't inflate any of my balloons with my mouth. It takes too long. It's too hard. You can get good at it after a while, but it's just not worth it. Now, the next thing that I want to tell you is how to inflate a balloon and tie it off. Now, obviously, using the pump is the way to go. I'm going to use this white one just because it's a lot easier to see. Now, if I had a cheap pump, it would take 2 to 3 times more pumps to inflate that balloon. It would be a lot harder, and that's no fun for anyone. Now, at the end here, you've got your end. What I do is just let a little bit out, and that will create a little space. And you take these two fingers, your pointing finger and the next one, and just pinch it. And you can wrap them around both of those fingers. You actually are pinching it with the thumb and your pointing finger. And if you don't have enough space, just let out a little bit more air. Wrap it around, and then you're tying it off. You're tying it off at the end. You're tucking it between the gap in your fingers. It makes a nice little gap. Now, this may seem very silly, but if you try to do this just by kind of forcing it, it's actually really hard. It's actually really hard. But if you do that, now you've got it tied off. Now, I'm going to tell you some wonderful advice here that will make your life so much easier. If you start pulling out balloons, the kids will call out to you demanding to make any number of things. So you have two options. One, you can just tell them, well, I would love to make you a dog today. And you can also, if you're going to be doing this in front of people, just have a little sign, put it in a little picture frame, and have the balloons that you do. I normally have about 6 different that I do at a very normal event. If it's a special event, I might do more. But I just have that little list and a little picture frame. And if the kid says, I want an elephant, and that's not one I'm making that day, I just gesture over here and go, well, actually, which of these would you like? So you're not really saying no. You're just giving them another option. Now, what I would like to show you is how to make a dog, because that is one of the most requested ones, and it's also one of the easiest. So what you do, you get your balloon that you've blown up just like we've described. You've used your pump. You've tied off the end. And you're going to decide how long to make his nose. You grab it. What I would do to start is about as big as your fist, as your fingers close over it. And then you just twist it. Now, a very easy mistake to make in the beginning is not twisting it enough. If you don't twist it enough, it kind of has a tendency to pop off on you. So I would recommend, especially when you're starting, if you don't have a feel for it yet, just to be safe, twist it about 10 times. 10, and it will stay. Now what you're doing is you're inching your fingers forward. You're holding on to that twist to not let it go. And you're inching your fingers forward, and you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to make another twist, and this is going to be the first ear. Now what I often will do is kind of tuck it into my arm there to kind of hold it, and I'll do the next ear. Now look what you've got. You've got a little sausage row. Now these can be any length that you want. For instance, if you're doing a long-nosed dog, this first one might be longer. But it is a good idea to have these two pretty close. I've got this one a little bit longer, but that's okay. The kids don't really mind. And what you're going to do is you're going to fold the next two together, and you're going to twist them around. Twist, 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 twist. And when you're done, you'll find that it's now holding itself together. And that's fantastic. So you've got the nose, that was the first part, and the ears, that was the next part. Now, we're going to make what they call a finger-size twist, which is this right here. And now you've got a neck. The neck is actually more important. Sometimes, if I'm being lazy, I forget about the neck, and it makes the body kind of stiff. It doesn't look quite right. So you get the neck, and then you're going to make the 2 legs. Now, if you're making a little wiener dog, you would make little tiny legs. And if you're making a greyhound, you'd make big long legs. So whichever you want. I'm going to make kind of medium-sized legs. You got those two. It's the same twist as the ears. You bring those two legs together, just like that. Now look what you got here. You got the nose, you've got the ears, and you've got the legs. And you may find that they're just a little bit wonky, and so just adjust them. By the way, it may pop on you. And I have one of the best things to tell children if the balloon pops while you're making it. Because you know what? If you're making balloons, they're going to pop sometimes. Is if they pop, say, do you want to know a secret? Every time a balloon dog pops, somewhere in the world, a real dog is born. A little puppy is born. Isn't that great? And that way also when they get home and it pops, which very often it does, they think to themselves, oh, a little puppy has been born. Now you've got the legs, and you have to decide how long you want the body. Again, if I was making a Dachshund, a little wiener dog, I would make it that long. It would be very funny. But I'm going to make a normal size. I'm just going to do the same twist again. Again, if you're not sure yet, just do it 10 times. And then you're going to do 2 more legs. You've got it again, a little sausage. There's the body, and there's the 2 legs. You're going to once again fold the legs together, twist them in on top of each other. And now, technically, at this point, you're done, but we want it to look right, so you're almost certainly going to need to adjust a little bit. Adjust the head a little bit, adjust the body a little bit. Get it just right. Get it just right. What I like to do is give it just it's not a cat, so it doesn't need to have a crazy, but I like to get the tail. Just kind of bend it like this, and what you'll find is if you squeeze it with your hands just a little bit, the warmth of your hand will kind of mold it. And that way, it'll have a little bit of curl to it. I just think it looks nicer like that. Now you've got a little dog, and you can hand that to the child. The child will be so happy. If you do have a marker or a Sharpie or something, you can draw a little face on there, maybe a little tongue. They'll get a kick out of that. But you can be the life of any party with children, and all you need is a balloon. Thank you very much. Good luck on your twisting.